Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. And I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, and gratitude to the right of me, and gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. Oh, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Laurie. We are grateful for you, and we're grateful to be here this evening to celebrate Thanksgiving Eve. So welcome to Spiritual Life Center's Thanksgiving service. And tonight, we're here to share in spiritual communion, as well as using physical symbols to bring the experience more fully into our awareness, more fully into our consciousness. Communion, or Holy Union, awakens us more fully to our oneness with God. We are participating in an ancient ritual of breaking bread together, sharing a symbolic meal as Jesus did with his friends and his disciples. And though we are not together in physical form, we can still share this meal. So take a moment to gather some bread and wine, or if you prefer an alternative, cookies and milk, or the food that is your best symbol for the ritual that we're about to undertake this evening. Our Thanksgiving Eve service tonight is prayerful. It'll be filled with music, but mostly is an outward visible sign of an inward process, and is designed to fill and invoke a stronger realization of the presence of love in our hearts and in this place. So we open tonight with a sacred prayer, and I invite you to turn within for a moment with me. Thank you, God, divine presence, for open hearts, for this spiritual community, and for the gratitude and abundance that is in all of our lives. Abundance that's realized and not yet seen. The profound calm we feel embraces all aspects of our awareness as we rest in great thanksgiving for the gift of being on this earth, as well as the ability to make a difference in small and loving ways.
Tonight, we light those candles of the past, present, and future in thanksgiving for the abundance God has provided in our lives and in memory of those who are not here at the table with us tonight. For those who have made their transitions this year and are no longer with us in bodily form, let us take a moment to remember them by speaking their names quietly. They are forever a part of our hearts and with us eternally.
The light within. We begin by lighting a candle representing the divine, the source from all life and love flows from. As we light this candle, we acknowledge God's presence here in the sacred space of our own soul, our own body, our body temple, and the holiness of this community. We radiate peace and harmony, as well as thanksgiving to the entire world.
As we light the candle that represents the past, may we each embrace all the experiences that have brought us to this very moment in our lives. May we recognize the past as a stepping stone along our journey, knowing God has been working through us every step that we have taken. Let us bless the past and forgive all we need to forgive so we can move forward in our lives, leaving the past where it needs to be, behind us. May we always be aware of God's loving presence.
As we light the candle that represents the present, we are grateful for this now moment. We are grateful for all the people and things in our lives right now. We give thanks for all that has brought us to this place in our present life, and for all that we have, and for all that we are. When we learn from our past, we become a master of the present. Right where we are is holy ground and is full of potential for good. Each moment is a sacred time with God. Thank you, God, for the awareness of your presence here and now.
And we kindle this flame in the gratitude for the blessings that are yet to come. We see, feel, and know God moving in a very real and personal way as Spirit lays out a beautiful red carpet into our future, and we say thank you. Our way is made clearer, and as we open our eyes to see the goodness before us, we walk confidently forward in gratitude and in the calm assurance that God is reaching out to invite us into a future rich with possibility. Our communion this evening involves a three-step process: forgiveness, acceptance, and consecration. Forgiveness, that lets us come to the altar here and the altar of our own heart, free of any resentment or unforgiveness. Acceptance lets us receive the elements that become part of our physical body. The spiritual ideas we receive tonight are accepted in thought and feeling and become part of the life of our souls. And in consecration, we dedicate our lives and spirits this evening to the service of the indwelling divine presence in ourselves and all people. Tonight, we will explore spiritual communion on many levels. And as we move through this experience, we will be singing the chant, "I know the Christness of me." Feel free to join in if you're comfortable, or even dance. And we begin with the communion with ourselves as divine children of God.
Loving presence. We allow ourselves to give grateful thanks for the divine spark within us that is our awareness of you, that which is our very nature. In a moment, I recognize that there is within me a perfect self, not small, but huge, not in pain, but in peace. Our energy now focuses on appreciating our individuality, that which is made in the image and after the likeness of you. Our souls mature into union with the Spirit. And as we do, we take up the mantle of your magnificence, your grace, your wholeness. We are lovingly embraced by a holy union.
I know the Christness in me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness in you as I drink this cup of love. I know the Christness in me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness in you as I drink this cup of love. As I do, I remember we're one. As I do, I remember we're one.
Let us now take a moment to reflect upon the incredible demonstration of God made visible within this community. At every service, at every event within this ministry, and every virtual event, we have the opportunity to join hearts, minds, and intentions with others who care for us, love us, and support us in rising to our greatest potential as human beings. The same power and activating force exists within every one of us, and it is God. So let us consciously know our unity and become aware of the threads of light that move between our hearts, the energy of God that links our hearts. Tonight, as we share this bread, we give thanks for the community of people who walk this earthly journey with us. And as we share this symbolic wine, we are grateful for the ever-present Spirit of God that continually unites our hearts and minds.
I know the Christness of me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love. I know the Christness of me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love. And as I do, I remember we're one. As I do, I remember we're one.
To experience common union with the world is to have peace and love within the hearts of all people. To have each and every one of us, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, all religions, all people joining hands, joining hearts and spirits. May we not only stand together in harmony as human beings, may each of us also recognize the beauty in nature that surrounds us. Every aspect of the world is a beautiful expression of God. May we all experience communion with each other and all of creation at the deepest level of our hearts and spirits, knowing divine presence is in the center of us all. So as we eat bread together, may we feel the peace within us radiate out into our world, touching all people, plants, and animals. As we drink together, may we experience the loving presence of God, joining us as one with the world in love and peace.
I know the Christness of me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love. I know the Christness of me as I take this bread as remembrance. I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love. And as I do, I remember the one. And as I do, I remember the one.
Communion with God is the most precious experience. When we are in union with our Creator, we feel a sense of oneness, of peace, of love. One meaning of commune is intimate conversation. And when we engage in intimate conversation with God, when we look deeply within and are intimately honest with ourselves, we are lifted to a higher level of awareness. As we open our hearts to the allness of God, we discover divine harmony, a deep peace. We feel our holy union with God. And when we take time with God in the silence, our days are more peaceful. The sunsets are more beautiful. The colors of flowers and nature are more vivid. Life has more beauty. Our communion with God is known in every moment of the day and night. Communion with self, with community, and with the world are all sacred aspects of our intimate connection with God.
I know the Christness of me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love. I know the Christness of me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love. And as I do, I remember we're one. And as I do, I remember we're one.
We now enter the purification part of this evening's ceremony. In the Gospel of Matthew, the 5th chapter and the 24th verse, Jesus instructs us that rather than coming to the altar holding resentments, we should clean up any unfinished business first, making peace with those we may need to forgive. So to affirm this way of being, let us commune in prayer right now. Divine Spirit, I prepare my heart and mind by remembering my oneness with all life. I turn my thoughts toward peace and release any thoughts of resentment. I release past conditions and situations and come to the altar of my own heart only with love for all of creation. I harbor only thoughts of goodwill and offer all that I am to the service of others. I forgive myself, my so-called enemies, and all people, and confidently move forward in the direction of healing. As I surround this world with the cleansing power of my light as an outer and inner expression of God, I rededicate my life to the highest purpose of recognizing the spirit of goodness within all beings. So now in the silence, I release any and all resentments into your light.
I know the Christness of me as I take this bread of remembrance. I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love. I know the Christness of me, and as I take this bread of remembrance, I know the Christness of you as I drink this cup of love, and as I do, I remember we're one. And as I do, I remember we're one.
One of the most intimate things we can do is share a meal with one another, a common meal. Tonight, we open the deepest, most intimate parts of our lives to share with each other, and as we do, we remember the instructions of the Master Teacher, Jesus. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread, and he blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to his disciples. Then he took a cup, and he gave thanks, saying to them, "Drink and eat of these as a symbol of our divine spirit within." Bread symbolizes substance. Wine symbolizes life. When you eat this bread tonight, remember that we are all created out of the loving substance of God. And when you drink this symbolic wine, remember it is the life of spirit that unites us all and brings us joy. The body and the spirit are both sacred. And when you do this, remember the divinity in you.
We know that ritual for ritual's sake is meaningless. However, when it's done consciously, it can reach into the depths of who we are. This ritual is an outward and visible sign of an inward journey to communion with all. That communion is with ourselves, our communities, our world, and the divine energy we call God. The ceremony is the external testimony to an inward calling and response. May it take you to the deepest part of your soul and remind you of your connection with unity, with God, and all life.
So now is the time for your self-created communion experience representing the embodiment of the teachings of Jesus.
As you eat a piece of bread, affirm to yourself, I embody and consecrate the life-affirming energy of divine love.
Take your bread and eat it up here, though. And now take a sip of your drink with this affirmation. The light and love of the one source flows in and through me now and always.
So now, we will sit in silence for a few moments, holding the consciousness for the highest and greatest experience of God. Feel oneness with the presence as you contemplate Jesus' teachings. Prayer and in silence, we have received the spirit and life of the divine presence. We have felt the inspiration of the indwelling presence lifting our thought and lifting our feeling to a higher plane of understanding. And so now we go forth and consecrate our thoughts and activities to the service of the divine presence in all people, in all places, and in all circumstances. And now our great invocation.
From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of all. Let light illuminate our earth.
from the point of deep love within the heart of God. Let love stream forth into the hearts of all. May Christ's consciousness return to earth.
From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of all men. May we know and serve the will of God.
From the center which ye call the heart of all, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal forever the door where evil dwells.
And may light, love, and power restore God's plan on earth.
After the prayer for protection, I invite you to immerse yourself in the sounds of Lurie's version of Blessed Always. And now, if you like, join in as we say and affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am.